Take, for example, a cactus. A man who is 6 feet tall is standing near a saguaro cactus. The length of the man's shadow is 2 feet, and the cactus casts a shadow that is 5 feet. How tall is the cactus? Without a stepladder, I'm going to teach you guys how to find out that information, and we'll get to that here shortly. Example 1 has you using the fact that two shapes are similar to obtain a measurement. So I'm going to sketch what they have. Certainly not an expert at it, but we're going to give it our best shot. F, E, G, H. And what they've said to us is quadrilateral ABCD is similar to quadrilateral EFG H. And that means A and E should be at the same location. Okay? So E is here, which means A should be here. Would you agree? Based on that? And that would mean F has to match with B. There's F, so that's B. G matches with C. D matches with H. Okay? So I've just twisted the shapes and I've used the order they gave me to match what sides go with what. Okay? So I twisted it all in one fell swoop. FG is 30 inches. And then they tell me that BC is 12. And they tell me AD is 16. But they want me to find EH. Okay? This is the side length that we know. Well, by comparing a pair of matching side lengths, we can uncover what the value of EH is. So the GF length over the CB length has to create the same ratio as the HE length, the one we don't know, and the DA length. Okay? Because when two shapes are similar, then their ratios will be the same. We know what GF is. We know it's 30. And we know what CB is. CB is 12. We don't know what HE is, but we do know what DA is. Ready to see what I did there? Remember when we cross-multiplied last week to solve for a missing piece? That's exactly what we're going to do today. Now, if you wish, you can reduce 30 over 12. Both of those are divisible by 6, which makes it 5 halves. Okay, you see how I reduced that? It's the same thing. They're going to equal one another. Okay, same thing. They're going to equal one another. Reduced fractions have the same actual value. Now I think I can do this pretty well in my head. 2 times x is 2x. 5 times 16 looks like it's 80. Am I right? Did I do my arithmetic correctly? If you did it the long way, you would have come up with 12x equals 480. Okay. So if I divide my simplified version by 2, I end up with 40. No calculator needed. If I divide the original version by 12, x goes into 48 4 times, 48 0, I still get a 40. Okay? That 40 means the value in length for HE is 40 inches. Okay? 40 inches. So you can't give me this. You either are going to say EH equals 40 inches. This is really the answer I want to see, because I want you to be able to apply what you've learned and answer the question effectively with it. Okay, let's do one of the checkpoints really quick. Do you guys want to do the triangles or the parallelograms? I'm going to do one with you. All right, cool. Parallelograms it is. So this is checkpoint 2. Actually, you know what? I better do the triangle because we just did a quadrilateral. Let's do a triangle. They are telling us that triangle STU in that order is similar to triangle DEF. Okay? Now, STU is written this way. Here's S, here's T, here's U. They've told us the bottom, the base, is 35 millimeters, and one of the legs is 45. Now, I don't know for sure if these two are equal, so I'm not going to assume that. But I am going to take my other triangle, the one that's currently on its head, and flip it over. I know it's a little bit smaller. Okay? And S and D match, which means D goes in the same location as S did. E looks like the tip, and F is the other end of the base. They give us X as the measurement for DF, and they give us 36 for EF. You guys see how I figured out what goes where? I simply flipped it around. I used the relationship they described to make sure my letters were in the proper location, and then I included the numeric values where they gave them to me. Okay. So this and this match. SU corresponds to X the same way that TU corresponds to 36. Okay? And I actually just filled in the information there. SU's value is 35 millimeters, and we don't know what we're looking for. TU corresponds to that. Now, we can leave it this way, cross-multiplying and solving, or we can reduce 45 over 36 by a factor of what? 9. Beautiful. So this is the reduced version, and remember your book doesn't show you that, but logically, if you reduce something, it's still the same value. 9 would be 5/4 if I did my arithmetic correctly. Okay, so the original version is 45x equals, good Lord, what's 35 times 36? I can't think that hard. Oh, I do have a calculator though. 1260 is right. Or my reduced version, which is 5x equals 140. No calculator required. Now, if I did it right, my reduced answer will equal this answer. 1260 divided by 45. 28. I think we're correct, huh? Which means line DF equals 28 millimeters, because millimeters is what we started with. Okay? Let's turn the page and apply that to our saguaro cactus. Saguaro cactus. Now, I've got the sun way up in the sky, okay? I think it's important that you realize that where the sun is at the moment they're discussing is kind of a static location. I mean, it's moving a little bit, but it's going to cast a shadow, and if you recognize what it has cast, you can use that. Okay. Okay. The shadow of the cactus is 5 feet. The shadow of the dude is 2 feet. The height of the dude is 6 feet. The height of the cactus is unknown. Okay? Basically, I have just created a triangle because of the sun's rays. The sun's rays, when they hit the cactus, created the shadow that's down here. Okay? Because of that, I have a shadow here, and I have a shadow here, also created by the sun's rays. Okay? Because of that, I can use the corresponding sides because these two shapes are going to be similar. Now, if you wait an hour, they won't be similar anymore because, well, they'll still be similar, but if you take this measurement here and then wait an hour to take this measurement, the two triangles won't be similar anymore because the cactus's or the man's shadow will be different. So at that moment, these two things are similar. Just like in an hour, they will both be similar as long as you take the measurement at the same time. So cactus height over man's height is equal to cactus shadow over man's shadow. Now notice you always put the same thing on top. I put cactus on top, cactus height over man's height, cactus shadow over man's shadow, but it could be done the other way as well. You could do man on top and cactus on the bottom. It would just look like this. 6 over x equals 2 over 5. It doesn't change anything. Your cross products will still be exactly the same. So on the right side, I don't even know which way the book has it, but we'll figure it out. 6 times 5 is 30 equals 2x. If I solve it over here, I get 6 times 5 and 2x. Oh, look, it's exactly the same. Divide everything by the coefficient of x. No reducing even available to you. And you should have 15, but what does that tell us? What does 15 apply to? Go ahead, Sadie.
How many feet cactus is?
You got it. Cactus is 15 feet. You guys think that this type of thing isn't useful because you're just going to go into construction. Guess what? They use this when they're talking about rise and run of rafters, roof shape, hips and gables, if any of you know anything about a roof. They use this type of thinking to ascertain whether or not their measurements are right. Okay? All right, folks. I'm going to go ahead and let you get started. We are doing 6 through